Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another video for Legendary James Bond, the deck building game, 007. So this is an unboxing of, because I've already opened all the boxes that I have. We have the base game, we had the first expansion, which had 2 movies, and then we had the 2 single expansions, which bring us to 8 total movies. So what I wanted to do in this video was a 2-part thing. One, I wanted to show you how everything kind of fit in the box. It's not like probably how I'll finally do it, but I just wanted to show you how everything fits if you buy everything. And then I thought maybe I'd do a quick look just comparing the James Bond special starter cards, especially the ones from these 2 expansions, how they compare to the extra characters, the Roger Moore and Daniel Craig versions from the base game, to see if they kind of mix in there, or if they're like very separate. So I just want to do a quick look at that. I thought it'd be a fun little addition. So again, yeah, there's four movies in this box. Plus then you also have like your Wound Stack, your Steam Twist, your Master Strikes, your Steam Twists, your gadgets, plus the extra starter cards for everything. This one also then has the extra starter cards, are starter deck cards for the other 2 brand new Bonds, and then these ones don't have that many, but there's 120 cards in each of this set, and there is 300 in here. So I mean, double this is 240, so that means there's 60 extra cards in here to cover those extra starter cards and some of the extra decks in there. And this is quite a bit more. So this is what it looks like. I have sleeved everything. So now if you don't sleeve your cards, which not everyone cares to do that, or if you buy cheaper penny sleeves that are a little bit less thick, you'll have a lot more room in here. I should have taken a video beforehand, but here we have the playmat. But I just wanted to show like what it was. So this side here, where I have no dividers, this is just the base game sleeve. So, I mean, like, I got my wounds here. You know, keep going through. I have, like, each different movie. I just have them in order right now. But, yeah, we have all the different, going all the way up to the newer ones, or however I have them organized. But that's just that. So, if I actually pull these a little bit tighter, there's not a lot of room left on this side after you do that. And then if you added dividers in here, again, every divider is going to take up a little bit more room. This side is the 4 expansions. If I go tight with them, we get a little bit more room in there. Now, these are all the dividers that came in the set. So this right here is 2 movies. I have everything separated. So I have a divider between each different character card. Instead of things like each Bond, their Femme Fatale ally, their allies, vehicles, Mastermind, Henchman decks. Which are some of these bigger, you know, like that could be the player cards. Oh, this is the cartel deck, I bet. Yep. Yeah, like the schemes are in there. Like, granted, if I go through and I actually sort this out, I'll probably throw all, I'm not sure I'm going to sort this out. If I'm going to sort all the schemes out completely, or if I'm going to just put them, like, with something else, I'll probably just throw all the schemes in one pile. Like, usually I do. There's, you know, one thing there, but I definitely want to make sure I have all the other things separate when I do it. This little stack right here that's not mixed, this is the last expansion. So this is one expansion by itself, which is just the Daniel Craig expansion. Now, I kind of kept that separate for a reason, so we can see how much room one expansion takes up by itself. So, and then I have this one actually just sleeve clear because it's double-sided. But yeah, if I kind of measure that with my fingers here, so if I kind of hold that, I got that much room, plus I have the extra room on this side, meaning you could probably fit one more sleeved expansion in here, and then this box should be full. You can throw the instructions up on top, but then if you have these dividers in here, as soon as you throw the instructions on, they're going to start lifting up over the top because these come right to the top. Now, these are just the ones that came in the box, again, that have just the Legendary logo. They do have a spot on top, so you can write on them. So if I did on the top, you could easily write, you know, James Bond, like, Her Majesty's Service, you know, and then you could write, you know, James Bond Gold member, James Bond Goldeneye, gold member. That's Austin Powers, Goldfinger. Like, right, you can sit there, write all these, you can see them, or however you decide to do it. I actually designed my own for all the Marvel ones. These ones, I designed them for Firefly, Predator, Aliens, all that. And I'll probably do something like that for this too, which I'll probably figure out how the best way to like write these down. These are a little bit trickier to sort because the Marvel ones are just like, here's villains, like villain name, villain there, here's heroes, here's this hero, here this hero. But since this one, it's all the, like, there's 8 different bonds, or 5 different vehicles, 6 different gadgets, a bunch of allies. You literally have to list the movie behind each one. It's gonna be a little trickier for me to figure out how I want to do that. Also, because although this does all fit in this box right now, if they don't release any more expansions, great. I have everything in here sorted, and it works fine. But if they release more, I'm gonna need more storage. I usually put mine in card boxes where I have them standing up, so it actually gives me less room to write stuff, because then now I'm writing on this much versus this much. And maybe after I finally design these, which I haven't, I just finished getting all these and getting them all sleeved. I'll make a follow-up video if anyone's interested to see what I do for them sleeves, in case you're interested. Yeah, I wanted to just kind of do a quick show off. So yeah, if you bought the base game, the big first expansion, and 2 small expansions for all 8 movies, they will fit in the box here. They do come with foam. Usually they come with these little foam blocks, so I can actually throw this extra foam block back here so that doesn't keep falling over. I'm not sure if they have one this size or not, but you can usually find them pretty easily. Alright, I'm going to pause quick. I'm going to grab the signature cards. We're going to take a look at those. Alright, welcome back. So we're going to go through each one of these special starter cards. These are the 5 cards that came with each character, with the idea of they kind of theme in with that movie. Again, there's no clear direction in the instructions, at least not that I recall reading. So correct me if I am wrong, maybe I missed it. That says how you're supposed to use them. My assumption is supposed to be is more or less each player plays to take one of the Bond starter deck cards, with their 007 and their agent card. Their 007 and their 00 agent cards, shift for their small attack and recruit. And then they take 1 special standard card. So the idea would be like, if I am doing The Spy Who Loved Me, which is a Roger Moore movie, is that I would give out to each one of the 5 players one of the cards from his set. That way everyone has a card that's fairly equal to each other, playing a different role. And they kind of theme with that movie, so I kind of think they work with the themes in that movie. Alternatively, the other way you could do it is if you're playing the Sean Connery, James Bond, you could pick one of his 5 cards, deciding on, that might give you the idea of, how do I want to play his deck, and then maybe that's what you're going to go for. And then if the next player is playing the George Lazenby Bond, they could pick one of his 5 cards. Now that means you might get, if you're playing with 5 players, for example, and there's 6 bonds, if you're playing a 4-player game, that means you might end up picking 4 bonds that you might be playing bonds that don't correspond with that movie. Therefore, that card may not be as effective because it's whatever's in that movie. So like if I'm playing Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan, George Lazenby, and Sean Connery here, and we picked the Roger Moore movie, their special starter cards might not mesh well with that. They're going to give me an advantage overall. So yes, just depending on how you want to play. But I wanted to do in this little part here is to show off each one. So we're going to go through and look at each card individual. Each character more or less has 5 of the same cards. They have a James Bond card, an MI6 card, either a shaken, not stirred, or cocktail for 2, something about drinking, their favorite drink, standard field issues, which is the gun, and then special upgrade, which is usually a vehicle. And they have those 5 cards. Now, Roger Moore and Daniel Craig each have 1 extra card from their special sets. And if anybody else gets released another movie, they'll get 1 as well. I don't know if they'll continue that with every single set, meaning those guys will get more and more. But I also want to see how those cards fit in with the rest of the theme. But we're going to do 1 set at a time. So I'm just putting these guys up here so you can see who their cards are. They do have the years on them to show what movies they go with. So that is helpful as well. I got to move some of these cards around. Alright, so we have special upgrades for the first one. So Sean Connery's is draw a card, gets you 1 attack. Draw a card. You may move a card on assignment to any space. If there's already a card there, swap them. George Lazenby's is gets you 2 attack, which is you get +2 attack if you play a vehicle this turn. So you can see they are very different from each other on how they work. Roger Moore's is on this side, so now we're up to, we'll just do this really quick. We have Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton. So Roger Moore's is you get 1 attack, draw a card each time the mastermind has been fought this game, and Dalton's is 1 attack, draw a card. Next time you recruit a tech hero this turn, you may KO a card in your hand, play, or discard it. So you see all of these special upgrades. If everyone just took a special upgrade card, they all play very differently. Then the last 2 we have are the newest. I'm putting these in order of ages. Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig, of course. And I'm going to probably not put the pictures back up for everyone, because it takes extra time to do that. But here we have for Pierce's, we have you gain 2 recruit. If you play a tech card, you get an additional 3. So now notice, this is the first one that does not just give you an attack. So that's a very interesting note. And then Daniel Craig is also the only one that's not called special upgrades. It's called the Winner's Spoils. Gives you 1 attack, draw a card. Next time you trigger a class special ability this turn, you get its effect in additional time. So it's kind of neat. So you have 5 different special upgrades, usually involving a picture of a car on it, and they all work completely differently. Alright, so we're going to jump into the standard field issues. So again, we have, if you want to see how each card works together in the same group, you can go back, watch the videos, because I do them all right in a row. So for the guns, again, we have Connery and Lazenby here. So Connery is 2 attack, draw a card. For his gun, Lazenby's is 2 attack, plus you get +2 if you played a hero equipment this turn. For Moore and Dalton, we have +2 attack, 2 attack, plus you get 1 each time the mastermind has been fought this game. And his is 1 attack, draw a card. Next time you recruit a range hero this turn, you may KO a hand in your card, player, a discard pile. Of course, you can see they're all kind of themed with each other. And then the last 2, Brosnan and Craig, we have 2 attack. If you play a range, you get +3 attack. And +1, you get 1 attack, draw a card. Next time you trigger a class ability, you get +2. So these are all, of course, they're guns, so they're all different attacks. But again, see how they're a very vast difference of things. It's kind of like, if you play one from the same group, like everyone takes just Daniel Craig's cards, you're all going to get very similar type of abilities. His seem to be like triggering off abilities. If you play all of Brosnan's stuff, you're going to get stuff that trigger, when you play a special ability, you're going to get an extra bonus. You have to play a specific one. So there's kind of the difference there, but if you each take different ones, then you're all going to get a very vast different starting game versus, again, I want to set this up. I'm playing him, like, I'm going to try and get, if we all take Brosnan cards, for example, like, I'm going to always try and get the range cards because I'm having an advantage there. The other guy's going to take tech cards, this guy. So it kind of separates out that way. But if everyone took a different one, then if this guy had range and nobody else has to worry about that, then you're not fighting over resources. So it's a very interesting way to look at it. All right, our drink cards, going back to the beginning, we have Connery and Lazenby here. Shaken, not stirred, and then champagne for 2. Kind of interesting that they're a little bit different. But Connery's is one recruit, draw a card. Choose a player, they may KO a wound in their hand or discard pile. And then this one is +2 recruit. You get +2 if you play a Tracy Bond hero this turn. Which again, the rules did state if you don't have Tracy Bond because you're not playing with that set, or you didn't use her, it would be any other named hero that is not James Bond. So any hero that's not James Bond, because it can't be him, is not like allies, vehicles, or equipment. So it can be any of the other named characters. So yeah, that's pretty interesting there. Alright, so we have Moore and Dalton up next. Oh, it doesn't want to pick up. Sorry if there's any glare on these. I already sweeped them, obviously. So now switch to champagne for 2 to shaking, not stirred back the other direction. It's kind of funny. So we have one recruit, draw a card. Each time the mastermind has been fought this game, you may KO a wound in any discard pile. And then get 1 attack. So interesting. All the rest have been giving you this recruit. His gives us an attack. Draw a card. Next time you recruit a instant hero this turn, you may KO a hero in your hand, discard pile, or play area. So again, you can even see with these ones, if everyone took a Roger Moore card, they're all going to get better as the mastermind has been getting defeated. So that's going to basically mean everyone's cards are going to get a little bit better. But they're all going to only do a specific thing each time that happens. So that means everyone is sitting either at doing this thing 0 times or doing it 3 times, depending on how many times the mastermind has been defeated. Conversely, if everyone took Dalton's cards, lots of his are all, when you play a specific card, you get a KO stuff. So it's going to help everyone get a chance to KO stuff. But again, it's going to mean I'm going to try and get instant cards. I'm going to get ranged cards. I'm going to get tech cards. So that you can trigger that card more often. So it's neat because it kind of fair plays. Everyone has the same type of abilities. But again, it also then stifles everyone having to fight over who gets what resources. Alright, so our last 2 in our drinks are Brosnan and Craig. We have, again, champagne for 2, shaking, not stirred. Kind of funny that we keep going back and forth. To recruit, if you're playing instinct, you may KO a hero in your wound. KO a hero wound in your hand, deck, or discard pile. If you KO in your deck, to shuffle it afterwards. And then Craig's is 1 recruit, draw a card. Next time you trigger a class ability on this turn, draw a card. So very interesting. Alright, then for the next one we have MI6. We're going back to Connery and Lazenby. So MI6 has 1 recruit with a top card of your deck. If it costs 0, you may discard it, then draw a card. So if it's not 0, you can do it, or if it is 0, you can opt to not discard it and still draw it if you want to for some reason. And Lazenby's is to recruit, you get +2 if you played an allies hero this turn. This money starter does not count as an allies. So this one specifically you have to play an allies. His is again all about having to play specific groups of cards. So you have one guy that does defeating masterminds. You have one guy that does playing specific groups of cards. One that for playing the next time you recruit a card, you get something. Next ones, if you play a card, if you get a class ability by playing a card in a row, you get that. The other ones, if you play a class, you activate the effect. So they're all kind of different ways they all work around. All right, we have Moore's MI6 and Dalton's, who has to recruit. You get +1 each time the mastermind has been fought. And then again, each goes back to the attack for this. 1 attack, draw a card. Next time you recruit a Covert hero this turn, you may KO a hero in your hand or play area. It's also very interesting that all the Covert cards, like every one of so Daltons and Brosnans are all having to deal with specific colors. That each one has the same color on each card. So it's really nice that they did that. Then finally we have Brosnan and Craig's attack. If you play a covert, draw 2 cards. Or one recruit, draw a card. Next time you trigger a class special ability this turn, you get +2 recruit. Alright, then our final ones is we have Bond, James Bond. So we're back to Connery and Lazenby. So Connery just to attack this time. Draw a card. Next time you play a James Bond hero this turn, draw a card. And then Lazenby's is to attack. You get +2 if you play a James Bond hero this turn. This is kind of neat, because so far they're having that synergy of playing James Bond cards with the Bond card gets you a bonus. We have Moore and Daltons. One recruit, so everyone else is attacking, he gets to recruit, draw a card. You pay 1 less to recruit James Bond heroes this turn for each time the Mastermind has been fought this game. Again, this is kind of going to force you to want to, like, oh, I did it more often, but it's going to force you to want to buy more Bond heroes than maybe other people might. And then the other one is 1 attack, draw a card. The next time you recruit a strength hero this turn, you may KO a hero in your hand, play area, or discard pile. And then our last 2 would be Brosnan and Craig. Funny that they're both playing poker. I don't think everyone else is playing poker, were they? He's playing poker. Are the first 2? He's playing poker? Oh, that is actually going to be hilarious. Is he playing poker? That's crazy. So I wonder if Moore was the only one that wasn't playing poker in one of his things. That's pretty funny. Pretty a commonality to it, right? So Brosnan's is to attack. If you play a strength, you activate reveal a card from the hero deck until you reveal a James Bond hero. You may gain it for free, then shuffle the rest back into the hero deck. And Craig's is draw a card. Next time you trigger a class special ability, you may search your deck and discard pile for a James Bond hero and put it in your hand. Just kind of neat. So they all work with playing those cards. So then the last 2 that we have are the extra 2 decks, which are the Roger Moore and Daniel Craig ones. So I kind of want to see how they synergize with the rest of those cards. Alright, so Roger Moore's extra card is the Anglo-Soviet Cooperation. So it says if you have played 2 different heroes with the same class this turn, you and the next friendly player each draw a card. So yeah, it's interesting because that really has nothing to do with the rest of his deck. It works probably well with the movie cards, or that movie, the other cards in there, because I think they have a lot of stuff with getting to, like, giving friendly stuff, ally stuff. But if we just look at his cards again quickly, each time you Mastermind has been fought, if you played, oops, I think we got one of them mixed up there. Yep, we got the wrong one in there. That's going to be fun to look for. But yeah, it's Mastermind, 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 Mastermind. So this is the only one that has nothing to do with doing a Mastermind in there. Yeah, so his extra card here doesn't really fit with the rest of his deck. I'm going to have to figure out whose cards I messed up there at some point. So yeah, that is, again, it's kind of fun, though. You can add in there. Again, if you play it with that movie. But there's that thing, though, is if you're playing this with, I think this is The Spy Who Loved Me, one player gets this card that really synergizes with that deck, then the other 4 have to pick what? Do they take the other 4 one of the other 5 Roger Moore cards, which all have to go with the Mastermind, so that means everyone has, 3 of the players have cards that work very similar, and then he has one that's completely different. Or again, if you just, he's playing Roger Moore, so he can pick either have a Mastermind card or this card, and then someone who's playing like Daniel Craig can pick whatever his cards are. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting depending on how you want to do that. So here's the Daniel Craig extra one from, is it No Time to Die? Yeah. which has all the time in the world. So he gets 1 recruit, draw a card. Each time you KO a hero in your hand, deck, or discard pile, this turn you may gain it. So yeah, his had a whole lot of stuff dealing with, it actually had a lot of stuff like discarding and KOing stuff in there. But how does it stack up with the rest of his cards? His are next time you trigger class abilities. So again, they don't work, they don't fit in right with his. So it's like, that's very interesting. It's interesting that they did that with the 2 of them, right? They made cards that fit well with the movie thing, but then they only gave you 1 version. So I think like it would have made, personally, it would have made more sense to make another card that either fit in with the 5 thing, and that way if eventually each other Bond got another set, except for Lazenby, who only did 1 movie. But they could even do something potentially like just throwing an extra promo card or something at some point with him, you know, just to help round it out or whatever. But if they only had 1 more card, just gave him an extra ability that fit into this theme, that would have made sense. Just 1 more to shuffle around. Or alternatively, giving us 4 cards like this that all had, or 5 cards that all had different abilities. So that way you could pass out 1 for each one for the movie, and then like, oh, here's 5 new Daniel Craig cards, but there would have been 1 for each player in the game. Or even if you only went 4 and you just assume you're playing a 4-player game. I know the game can go up to like 6 players. I mean, if they only did 4 and then it's like, if you're playing with that, playing more than 4 players, then you have to figure it out yourself. Interesting though. Also noting that they got rid of the dates on there for the actors. I don't know if that was just, because they did that in, they did that for the first expansion too, but then they got rid of it for the last two. So maybe if they just decided they didn't want that, so it didn't get mixed in with those, or not for sure. All right, but that is what we have for Legendary James Bond. I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to take a look at all those. So hope you guys enjoyed that little thing. If there's anything else you'd like to see or have me compare, other things you'd like to see, other games, or ever, hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you guys later. Bye.